Welcome everyone to the excuse me. Welcome everyone to the Honda Fox Raceway National presented by Fox. Our 250 panel is up there right now going 1-1 on the day. All results are still unofficial, going 1-1 on the day in the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing Machine. Hayden Deegan going 2-2 on the day with Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Levi Kitchen and going 4-3 for third overall on the Red Bull KTM, none other than Tom VL. Guys, let's break down this day coming out of the gate strong here in Moto number 1 of the 11 series. Hayden, you look good all day. 1-1, the results on paper still unofficial.
Yeah, it was a good day. First moto, got a decent start and just sent it the first lap and made my way in third quick. It was pretty sweet, but yeah, ended up winning. Levi got a little thing stuck in his foot bag or whatever, but yeah, ended up making the pass right there when he had to pull over. And then, yeah, second moto just ripped a nice hole shot. That was, it was nice. It's always nice starting out front, so yeah. And then, I mean, we went out and won that moto, so that's it now.
Levi, the starts in 2024 have been great. Today, no exception.
Yeah, for sure. Overall good. Fastest qualifier was sick for me. That's kind of rare. So, yeah, and then a couple solid motos. The first one, you know, Hayden had good pace there and kind of came down to the end there. Obviously, the thing got stuck in my boot. But in second moto, we were both riding really good also. And, yeah, it's going to be a fun summer for sure.
All right, we're going to pass it off to the media.
I guess, first of all, this is probably for our unofficial first and second place. Hayden, maybe start with you. Can you just give us your side of the incident that happened and then, to the best of your knowledge, like what's the hold-up or what's the problem?
Yeah, I mean, I went off the track. I didn't accelerate at all. I followed what I was supposed to do, but yeah, Mitch is trying to get us. So, I mean, I don't know. You think, Levi, you think I deserve that win or no?
I mean, I don't think I would have passed you. It depends how much you slowed up. It's a sticky situation, though, because then my buddy Tom got docked for similar situations. So you can't really, yeah, I don't know. I think if Tom hadn't gotten docked, then it would be a different situation. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he beat me, though.
Long story short, it's going to be war now till the end.
So, would you say that you three are like clear on the rules? Like, when you go off the track, do you know exactly what you have to do not to get penalized, or is it kind of?
It's a gray area for sure.
Should it be a gray area?
Probably not. No, so we don't have to wait 2 hours for the press conference.
True.
Yeah. Tom, your take on, I guess, I actually didn't see, I was out on track for that moto, so I didn't see like where you went off. I saw Hayden's issue, but from your perspective and the ruling, maybe as a guy that's raced in MXGP before, is this handled differently in the World Championship?
No, I would say I had already some issues, the same mess over there. I only missed like 2 orders and I went back on the track. Of course, I didn't look back, but I actually saw the video from Aiden. I don't know, like the rules I would say are not so clear. Like you never know like what to do, to be honest. And I feel like if you don't win a position, if you don't pass someone, I think that's not too bad. And they actually, just right before the first moto, they came to me and said, we put you out 1 position. And I didn't say anything. I didn't have to say anything, so we are waiting a lot now. But yeah, I think I mean, at the end, they're going to decide. We can't do anything.
Jamie Guida, Vital MX. Tom, in Moto 1, you lost toe a little bit there towards the end. Do you feel like, was it conditioning or is just track condition kind of going away? What caused you to lose a little bit of toe?
Yeah, I had a great start, actually. I felt great the first 2 laps, and Levi actually was pretty fast, so he passed me. And my arms started to be tight. I was like, okay, there's no way I can hold. Like Aiden was behind me. I cannot let him pass after the pit lane because there was no way I could. He was faster than me. So I had really bad arm pump the whole moto, first moto. So I actually managed the 3rd place. And second moto was better. I just crashed, tip over. I couldn't pass Jerik's ward, and I kind of get a little bit mad, and I had a small crash. But I still managed to finish 3rd. Track is gnarly, actually, to be honest. It's a different track than what we're going to have the rest of the series. So being on the podium today is okay for me.
Levi, Hayden mentioned the Cherby's track marker that got stuck in your foot peg and that caused you to pull off a little bit. Do you feel like you could have held that lead had that not happened? Because he was catching you and then you were gapping him. It was kind of going back and forth.
I don't know, man. He was he was going for it, and he had some really good lines up towards the back. I think he probably would have maybe got around me, honestly. But yeah, the thing actually went into my boot. It was really weird. So.
Hayden, you obviously grew up about 15 minutes down the road from this track, and I think you could kind of just see you had a bit of a level of intensity, maybe like a level of trust in your tyres in terms of just how well you know this dirt. Do you think that played a factor in today, or do you think that, like the other guys, you spend so much testing on the East Coast that when you go to these East Coast races, you're going to be even that much better again?
Yeah, honestly, I had the same thing as Levi after press day. I told the team, like, this is not good. Like, yo, this bike is very sketchy. And it was just the track. It was, like, all rocks and dry. And then race day comes around, and bike was good. So, but, yeah, I mean, overall, coming to next weekend, solid bike setup, and it's another West Coast track that I'm used to. Just like this one, it shapes up quite a bit the same, dry and slick. So, if we can carry the momentum over. Last year got my first Moto win at the next round, so hopefully we can just carry that momentum over.
And this one will be for all three of you guys. Obviously, you all three have raced the Outdoor Championship last year. Is there a particular direction that you could maybe give to the track crew in terms of the preparation? Like sometimes you'll hear like, oh, the tracks are all prepped too similar, or like, is there a preference that you guys would have that would make for great racing? I mean, in terms of today, like I think the track shaped up great, but we didn't really see passing kind of anywhere. So if you had a wish list of what you think you would like to see in these tracks to make a really great outdoor championship, what would you guys want out of that?
Personally, I think when they throw some outside bull turns, when you're going for passes and you just layer on the outsides, that helps quite a bit. When the outsides are all blowing out, it just falls into that main rut. And whenever they throw some outsides in there to switch up some lines and make some passes during the race, it's really useful.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'd agree with that. And also, it's hard because it can turn into a goat trail, but more ruts, obviously, but more ruts in the turns. Like maybe not down the straightaways and in between the jumps. Like Colorado gets really good ruts in the turns, and I feel like you can make passes. But you know, to an extent, you don't want them leaving the turn and then all the way down the next straightaway into the next one, because then it's just a goat trail. So, but overall, I think today's track was better than maybe the last couple of years here, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like when there's too many ruts, we often use the same one. It's kind of one line. So I think today was really fast. If I compare to last year, I think the speed was a little bit faster, kind of everywhere. So the track was tough to pass. I could, second moto, I struggled a lot to pass, and I think those two guys couldn't pass each other too. So it was pretty hard to pass, I would say. But it's really difficult to say what they have to do on the track. I think they did a good job today.
And final one for me, it's a bit of a weird hobby horse that I ride around on the podcast, but I'm of the personal opinion that if you guys are only using a scoop for the start, maybe we should get rid of scoops and just say, okay, Southwick, yes, it makes sense to run a scoop. Maybe a track like Redbud, where there's some deep soil where it's it's actually a tyre built for that terrain. But to me, it's you come to places like Parla where it's hard pack everywhere, but you're all, if you don't run a scoop, you're not getting a start. So I think that we're in a kind of a weird spot there. That's a personal opinion. Just get your take on that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because around the track, I hated the scoop tire today. I was so over having it, but I can't let these guys get a start on me at all. It's a lot of the race. So yeah, and I think we all pretty much ran it.
Yeah, we've literally had to learn to adapt to a paddle tire or sand tire, a scoop tire, whatever you call it. But we've had to adapt that on the track, and we use that every day at the farm just because, these starts are tilled so deep. If you don't run it, you're not going to get the whole shot. So, I guess if there was some rule where they made it where everyone had to run it or no scoop tire, it would be a lot different because everyone would be on the same start and same tire. But since you can do both, it's always better to run the scoop on the start.
Yeah, I think now, everyone is pretty fast. So obviously, if one of those two guys start in front and you start maybe 10, you're not going to win the moto, obviously. So the start is really important, and I think today in 250, everyone had the scoop tire. So it make it even. I would say everyone have the same, but in Europe we use a lot. Like even sometimes when it's outback, only for the start because they rip the start so deep. So sometime in Italy, like the track is super outback and we use the scoop tire. I would say so. For me, like a lot of time, the team has told me, hey, we should run the normal tire, but I'm like, no, for the start is important, so we need to use the scoop tire.
So you guys wouldn't be bummed at all if there was like a rule made where it's like, all right, this track you can run this tire, or this track you can run a scoop, this track you can't run a scoop.
I mean, personally, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Like, I mean, it's going to be safer for the riders on this track when you're going freaking third gear wide open down these hills and you got a scoop tire on and rock hard bumps. It's obviously not the safest, but again, we're a professional level and we have to adapt to things like that.
Well, I think that all they need to do is just quit ripping the start at, rip the start at Redbud because the rest of the track's deep. Just figure out what tracks are deep. Washougal, you're not going to rip the start, obviously. Nobody runs a scoop at Washougal. So just figure out what tracks, maybe ask the riders, all right, what would you run at Paula if you didn't do a start? We would all run a knobby tire, I would assume. So then just take that knowledge and then just do it for the races.
Well, I think just to speak on that, I think the reason why they want to rip the start so deep is for safety, just to like keep the speeds down a little bit. So I mean, but that's where I think that if you just say like, okay, it's just there's a control tire in every single form of motorsport. Like I don't see the problem. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like we would go a whole lot faster, and especially unless the start's super long, but like this one, you're not really going to be going that much faster, I don't feel like.
No, well, that's all for me. I think this is a really great example of a track where a scoop fully sucks, but everyone does it for the start. So I think it's a good talking point at this track. So anyway, last one from me. Congratulations, boys. Whoever wins.
Jamie, Vital MX, I got one more. Just all three of you guys were in the championship battle in Supercross. Any Supercross hangover? Was it difficult to adjust in the short amount of time to go outdoors and get prepped? Any one of you?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, you're coming from Supercross and you hop right onto an outdoor track, but we all grew up racing outdoors, all on an outdoor track. So it's kind of natural. Get back on the outdoor track, get the speed back. You're a little slow off the start, obviously, from running tight tracks for a while, but I mean, after a day or two, you're back in the flow of an outdoor track.
Yeah, there was no hangover for me because I didn't celebrate anything because I lost. So right back to it.
All right.
No, obviously I was already there on Monday and Tuesday last week in Para, so I didn't train really in outdoor the last few races for Supercross. I tried to stay a lot on the Supercross track, so I did a lot of testing during those 5 weeks break we had, but no, I'm feeling good. Like Aiden said, after a few days you're already back. Like, I would say like pretty quick on the rhythm.
All right, thanks guys.